to ask, just line up right behind that microphone, right in the middle. All right, so without further ado, let me introduce the star of the show, Kristin Kreuk. And since it's such a long walk, I will also introduce Kelly Souders, executive producer. All right, so you want to comment on anything that just happened up there? Kelly?
I thought it was awesome.
Well, you know there'll be audience questions about that, so.
Yes.
Actually, we were talking a little bit backstage about filming this episode.
What do you mean?
Something that made you laugh.
Well, everything makes me laugh, so there's that. But we had, I guess it just happened. The funny moment where we like look at each other and look at the red button, look at each other, and sprint across in heels. It was good.
All right, since I know you're not going to reveal anything about the episode, let's talk a little bit about the fact that Catherine and Vincent have hooked up.
They have. A few times.
Yes. But I mean, one of the things I think that's really cool about the show is that you weren't afraid to go there. It wasn't drawn out, it wasn't a long, like, will they, won't they. So how do you balance that with, keeping it interesting and keeping the drama going?
I think you'll find that there's no problem with keeping the drama going after that.
Really? Stuff happens?
Just a few things.
And that was something that myself and Jen and Sherry and Brian sort of really worked with. We worked very closely with CBS Studios and CW Network and kind of decided to bring it up with our writing staff. And by the way, I have to say, Jay really wanted to be here, but he is having his first baby soon, so he couldn't be. But he was sorry not to come. And I also have to give a shout out because some of our awesome staff is here. Where are they? We're over there, and this episode was also written by Blair, who's not here, and Roger, who's sitting right there. And it was edited by Jim, who's in the hat two doors down, and I have to give shout out to them too, because they're amazing.
Okay, so one of the cool things about the show is the relationship between all the women.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about both story crafting and then working with these actresses.
Do you want to start with story crafting?
You start with actresses.
Okay. I love the girls on this show so much. Nina and I have become really close friends, and Nicole is like the sweetest person who's ever existed on the face of the planet. And so I think that bleeds into the kind of sisterly friendships in both of those relationships, and I love playing it. It's like one of my favorite things to do is come to work and like joke around with those girls every day. It's so fun.
And I think, Jen and Sherry created the pilot, and I think they had that in mind, that they wanted, there's so many like guy, cop, buddy, movies, TV shows, that they really wanted to show sort of a female version of it. And I think the staff, is really globbed onto that. And I think also the chemistry, like there's so much that we don't get to show that's like ends up, the edits are always like over, just because you always get so much great material, and there's always these great moments that just are them like cracking up together behind the scenes. And so it makes it very easy and fun to write for them.
Yeah, speaking of that, I had a lot of people ask questions on Twitter, and a lot of them were about how goofy you guys get on set.
I don't think it's a secret any longer how goofy we all are. It's pretty goofy. Nina and I all of us sing often. Kelly doesn't know this, but we sing all of the dialogue, sometimes like we're in Les Miserables, which is fun.
Plus they have a little game that they play on set called That's What He Said.
Or She Said.
Or She Said. But a lot of times that's what he said, because it's between the two girl buddy cops. So, anyway.
We're really mature.
Please tell me someone filmed you guys singing?
In outtakes. I don't know. I don't think anyone's really filmed it.
That's sad for me. Okay, so talk a little bit about doing the stunts, because you have a lot of physicality in this show that's pretty intense.
It's fun. I was just, what day is it? Thursday night, we were just shooting a big fight scene that's coming up in an episode, and we work with this great stunt coordinator, and my double is Kim Chang, who I've been working with since Smallville. So like we have a great relationship, and I love doing it. It's like, I don't know, it's like dancing. It's fun.
Well, what is the difference between doing this show and Smallville? How's the whole experience different?
For me, it's completely different. I feel like I'm much more involved in the process. I know what's going on. I talk to these guys. And the show is very different. I think it's a different animal.
And I think, Chris, being the lead, it's like you really carry a different weight than you do when you're, fifth on the cast list or whatever. So, and I think it's not a huge secret that it's hard to find people who can really carry a show, and that's the reason why they call carry a shows, because you really are literally carrying it on your back. You're having to be there every day. They won't tell you this, but they work insane hours. They can easily be working 12, 14 hours a day. Jay has to put on beast makeup. That takes hours and hours before he even gets to set. And they really don't get very many breaks. So, and you have to come with that kind of enthusiasm and that sort of insight and drive to like make each episode further than the one before it. And it really is you really are carrying a show. So I think that's quite massive.
Well, I also have to say it's kind of nice to hear that the guy's in makeup longer than the girl.
Yeah.
It is, it's nice. I am only in makeup for like a half hour. Makeup and hair together.
All right. Well, tell me a little bit about how passionate the fans have been, because I know I've talked to some of them on Twitter, and wow.
Right?
Yeah.
No, they're the most passionate fans. Yeah.
It's true.
Like, I haven't quite experienced anything like it, to be honest. And I was on Smallville, and those were passionate fans. But these guys, I don't know, like, I feel like they're so committed to this show, and it's really nice. I think it keeps all of us going.
And I think we also owe a lot to the Beasties.
We really do.
And if we, hopefully, knock on wood, we'll be having a season 2, and that's a lot to do with the Beasties and being so vocal.
It really would
thank
be,
you.
Yeah. Is there a date that we're going to hear about this?
Let's say May. I mean, we don't know, but around upfront time. Mid-May.
Okay, so is there anything that you can tease about what's coming up for the rest of the season?
I think Kelly should do the teasing.
There's a lot of teasing
There's so many
to happen. Oh my God. Well, yeah, so you saw that. I mean, it literally doesn't stop from here on out to the end. Like, every single episode has some massive reveal, some major turn, some major twist. There literally isn't like a quiet one among them.
No, you can't miss any episode from this point on, or else you'll be like, what is going on? There's a lot that happens.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing that you really also have to watch until the very last second of every episode. I'll just say that too.
Yeah, lots of reveals at the very last second.
Yeah, some really good ones.
Better hope your recorder doesn't cut it off, so watch it live. Okay, so let's take some audience questions.
First of all, thank you guys for coming. We really, really appreciate your time.
And we love your sweatshirt
thank
too.
You.
My God, that's awesome.
Kristin, you had done an interview a while ago and mentioned that you were a big Star Trek fan. I have to know which series.
Well, for me, it was Next Generation.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I mean that is the reason why we got a color television with channels.
Thank you.
Hi, Kristin. Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
So my question is for Kristin. So I think Catherine, in my opinion, has this like really dynamic character. I mean, she has this like romantic side with Vincent, and then she has like a big sister kind of thing, and then a bestie with Tess, and then a career woman where she gets to kick some ass. But my question to you, kick butt. So my question is to you, what's like your favorite part of her character that you like to play?
You know, Catherine, the way that she is in all of those circumstances is rooted all in the same things. I love her caring of others, the fact that she will do anything to keep people in her life safe to her own detriment. I love playing that struggle for her because I think that she does want something more for herself, but that guilt about her mother just is with her all the time. And will override any other thing that's going on for her, and I like playing that. If that makes sense.
Makes sense. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi,
think it's awesome that the show has acknowledged the fact that you're Asian.
Yes.
And just for the heck of being Asian, you're not like Karate Woman or doing any of those like tuxedo or anything. I think it's amazing. Whose decision was it to make your mother Asian and your sister Asian? And what nationality are you?
Okay, I think that it was just the way it was when we started, knowing that I'm half Asian. We went with her being half Asian, which is not always what's happened in my career. And then Nicole is half Asian, different. She's half Filipino and I'm half Chinese, to be specific. I mean, I could be more specific, but that's as specific as I'll be. I really like that too. I think it just feels honest. It's one of my favorite things about the show is that everyone's kind of a mutt. And it's not a whitey show at all, which is so great.
Thank you. Hi, Kristin.
Hi.
I'm your fan for Smallville since I was 10. But
Oh, awesome.
yeah, thank you. So who do you identify more with, Lana or Catherine?
More what?
Who do you identify more with?
Catherine.
Yeah.
Very much so, but I think I've taken more ownership of the character than I did when I was learning Lana. But I relate a lot. And that might be because I'm playing Catherine right now and not playing Lana, but Catherine very much.
Thank you. My question is for Kelly. Do you do anything that's regular to you but would be considered weird to regular people as being a producer?
As a producer or just in general in my life?
In general.
Wow, I don't know. You could ask the staff that. They probably have a lot more insight into who I am than I do. Anything I do that's weird? Oh, thank you. Okay, see, yes. And this actually came from Smallville, from Jeff Loeb, but because he used to do it, and then somehow I took it on, which is 5 o'clock rants, where my blood sugar will kind of dip late afternoon like everybody else's, and I'll kind of be sitting in the room staring at the board with nothing to say for like an hour, and then at 5 o'clock I go on the 5 o'clock rant, which is me jumping up and having some sort of like vision, whether it sticks the next morning or not, and just kind of, I don't know, I think I just like go off for like 5 or 10 minutes just with this insane like awesome blacked out energy that didn't come for the previous hour. 5 o'clock rant, great, thank you. No idea.
Hi, I just wanted to say thanks for being here. I'm a huge fan of the show. And I was wondering, since we're like 2/3 or more way through the season, and hopefully we get a second, but how your vision of the show, like when you guys first started out, has it met your expectations? Have the stories gone off in different directions? And what's your vision for the rest of the season or the future of the show? Because it seems like it's gotten away from the procedural to more of the mythology.
Well, you know, I think Jen and Sherry, obviously, when they created it, you work on a pilot, and then the pilot ends, and then there's the series too. So I think that it ends up shifting no matter what show it is when you sit down and you start getting to know the characters more. So I think like the first couple episodes usually are like introduction of like getting to know just who they are kind of on a more basic level, and then luckily the audience keeps tuning in and everybody gets to know them, so you get to take it, you know, into areas that that now the audience is on the ride with you because they know the characters. And so like when Catherine screws up, or when she, you know, covers up a murder for the first time, it's only because you kind of got to know her a little bit up front that that takes on its own life. And so I think as the show progresses, you know, we all get a chance to really live with the characters in a way that you know, so it evolves naturally. And I think, I don't know, I have to say, like, this run, I'm incredibly proud of it. And I'm so excited about how it goes from incredibly surprising action to something that's incredibly deep and emotional to something charming and fun and romantic and epic. And it just sort of allows you, I mean, I think for writers it's like a dream job because you get to do everything. I hope for actors, Kristin's kicking me under the table. No, I'm not kidding. No, but I do think that kind of lets you do it. So it's kind of progressed just naturally.
Okay, I think this is going to be our last question.
My favorite part of the show is the one-liners that you have every now and then. And I think my favorite one-liner was in the pilot episode where you just kind of threw your ex-boyfriend on the table for the marijuana possession.
Oh, right. That's great.
I wanted to know what your favorite one-liners were.
Oh my God.
Tums is one of my favorites.
Tums?
When JT says, we're all gonna die, I'm gonna go get some Tums. I love that. Tess says some funny ones.
I know. I really like in this one when JT's talking about, sorry about tranking you. Can we talk about that later? I don't know, there's there's great lines.
I can't think of them all right now.
I know.
There's some really funny ones.
And that's one of the things that's amazing about this cast, is that the entire cast can do comedy, which, is just kind of, it's not,
It's true.
usually
They're
you
so
sit there and
funny.
you go, who can I give this joke to in the scene? Oh, there's the one comedy person, but actually this entire cast can do like one-line zingers and actually all the emotional elements as well, but it's a real privilege.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. This episode will air in its entirety, so you see what happens next, on April 17th. So let's do a big round of applause for Kelly Souders and Kristin